Hi everyone, hope you're all right. Thanks for joining in. You all right, PB Pro Clean? You all right, Nelly, mate? Just seen you come in. So I think there's about a 10-second delay between me talking and what's going out on your screen. So if you say something, there's probably going to be a bit of a delay to come back to me. So I just could turn something down here. All goes wrong, doesn't it? That's better. All right, all sorted. Till I press something. Now the screen's doing what it should do. Yeah, this week's not been too bad for me. To be honest, I can't remember much of it. So it must have been all right. I know I didn't have Sophie working with me last Friday. She had a filling come out Thursday night, so she managed to get an appointment Friday. For us, it's over an hour and a half, I think, for her to travel to her dentist and back. So Teresa, my wife, took her to that, and me and Matthew just cracked on and got the day's work done. Luckily, we got through it all right. So for Friday, that's good. This weekend, I haven't been working. I've cleaned the van today, though. And I've noticed this weekend, as probably is for you as well, it's absolutely freezing. But looking at the weather, next week should be all right. Although tomorrow, where I am, it's going to rain till about 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's moderate, so I think that's going to be quite a bit of rain maybe. But it does what it does on the day, doesn't it? And I'll just go through some of the comments because some of them are coming in. Obviously, that's my one. Whee. So I just catching up. I've said hello to a couple of people. All right, Paul, mate. Thanks for joining us. And you said your weather's been mostly all right last week as well for once. Yeah, weren't too bad, was it? It's weird in the mornings. Well, it's not weird. It's this time of year. They'd be quite cold, and all of a sudden you hit about 9, 10 o'clock. Boom, the sun comes out, and then you're taking layers off because you're too hot. But they soon go back on, don't they? Later in the afternoon. And Nelly saying just another week in paradise. As long as the money keeps going in the bank and my bank balance, then I'm all right. That's what I judge it on. Hi, Robert, mate. Thanks for all your comments you've been putting on my videos. I'm not getting hot water, but I would like to get a hot water system, Nelly. I've been wanting one for a long, long, long time, but I never seem to have saved enough money, or something comes up and wipes away and I have to start building the pot up again. I've been trying for about 2 years. But yeah, I'd really love one. And you've got the one I wouldn't mind, because obviously I've got X-Line kit in my van, and that's what I'm after, the 2-person one. So me and my son Matthew can work with hot water, and I'd probably use it all the time, because a lot of people who've got hot water systems, they just say they use it non-stop, not just the winter months. Is that the same for yourself, mate? Because I've heard it just makes your cleaning so much easier. You all right, Matt? Rob's just saying the weather's great in the gym, semi-retired. Wow. Keep yourself going in the gym. I'd love to go to the gym, but I never seem to find the time. I always find an excuse not to go anyway. I do a little bit of my own stuff at home, but I'm a bit rural. You've got a gripper tank, 2-man system, hot water. Same for yourself, mate. Do you use your hot water all year round as well? Because that's what everyone seems to say they do when I've been watching around on YouTube and that. And obviously, it just makes cleaning so much easier. The marks and the frames, everything, as well as it's a good points that it has for winter. But yeah, it's nice to know. That's my aim, is to get a hot water system. I'd absolutely love one. But no, me, the day I put it in there, a week later, my van's going to conk out or something. That's my sort of look. But I've had some good stuff come on so far anyway. Oh, sorry, just send another one. Nelly's saying the running costs are quite high, right, for the hot water. So you just use it for the cooler days, or for your fascia softs and gutters and connie roofs and stuff like that. That's a fair one, because I know it eats into your diesel, don't they? But it's, if you can afford it, it's worth it, isn't it? I think definitely is over winter to save me messing around with electric cables and me oil rad heater and putting it in and out. At least if I get caught out, this thing does stuff, doesn't it? The blowback feature, whatever it's called, works automatically itself. So it's nothing to worry about. But yeah, just going on a bit of news that I've had, which was good for me, is Rutex Designs reached out, and basically he's sent me something to try. Well, he sent me two things really. He sent me one of these, the brush holder, but what he sent me is the one where it's two together, so it's a double, and you can screw it into obviously the side of your van, and then what you'll get is on these top bits here, you've got that little nipple sticking out. So because I like using the gardener's quick lock system, basically the brushes will just fit on there nicely on and off and be secure, and just the same way it fits onto me pole basically. And I'm looking forward to using that as a better way than what I'm using. I've just got like picture hooks screwed into my van and hanging off that. So this, yeah, look a lot better. I'll have to get rid of me plywood in my van, because I've got plywood, and I'll try and use something else. Is it, God, I can't remember who it is now. Sure, it's Ziggy. Obviously, he does videos. I've forgotten what they're called now. But they looks like carpet on the inside of the van walls, but it's not carpet. And it's also waterproof as well. So I'm looking along them lines maybe, but I've got to get all the money for that stuff. It could just be new plyboard, couldn't it? For now anyway. But yeah, using these, I've got one to show you, and I'll make a video on these and then give you my thoughts, a bit of review on that. But also, he's very kindly sent me out something else, which is something I've been talking about and said I'd like to try, and it's this, the Tough Connect. And then basically the bottom bit here, the blue bit, the male end, he sent me two of them. So because I've got two different poles, like my 4-foot pole and my 18-foot stroke 35 when I had the sections on it, for the pole hose on there, so I can interchange the different pole hoses on my poles basically. And yeah, it looks a really good bit of kit. I haven't took out the packaging because, again, what I'll do with this is I'll make a video about how I found putting it all together basically, and then obviously me using it and my thoughts, like I suppose after a week, and then I'd give another one I suppose after a month and see what I think of it. And obviously it's good feedback. I've got free reign of what to say as well, so it's not like I've been told what to say, which is good. And I thought that was really kind of him, so I'm looking forward to that. In fact, I'll just get the pictures to show you. So that's the double one. It's come with the screws, so I'm looking forward to that going on the van. Put the brushes on there, and I haven't opened the packaging, but it all come here with instructions. And then there's the Tough Connect. It's got the Rectus fittings as well, and then obviously I've got the blue bit here, and there's the second one which I've said he sent me as well, so I can have two pole hoses connecting up to one of these, which would be on the main hose, so it's interchangeable. So yeah, like I say, I'll give a video on how I put it all together, and then how I found it after a week, and then I'll probably give another one after 1 month, and if needed, maybe after 6 months, something like that. But I'm really looking forward to it. You see, it's not very big, that size of my hand, so it's a good size. So it's all looking really impressive so far. So yeah, that was very nice of them to send me that. Also, I know from, he's had a bit of dramas, bless him, because he sent it to someone by mistake, to Crystal Clear Windows, who got back in touch with them to say, why have you sent me this? So he's told them to keep it, and then he sent me another one. He only sent it a day or two, I think it was only yesterday, Friday maybe, but it arrived today through the Royal Mail, so it must have cost him something to send it out that quick as well. So cheers, thanks very much for that. Yeah, and I'll give you my thoughts on that. So I've just seen some comments, if you just bear with me to come through. Where did I get up to? I got one. Polykits from Streamline, that's the one. Yeah, Ziggy in it, Streamline. I had a proper brain fart going on, and I am drinking squash as well. No alcoholic beer. And the lining looks really good in there. PB says, makes me think of a potential topic for another live. What upgrades? That's a good point. Have you done over the years to make yourself more efficient or work easier. And I suppose just to make you happier as well, isn't it? Because if you're happier, you're going to work better as well. Good bit of kit always sort of like makes you feel happier, and off you go, don't you? Not an upgrade, but going full weekly to monthly. Got you, yeah. Matt from Your Cleaner Windows does monthly, and that's where he's found sometimes he can get a few days where he has time off doing it that way as well. So there's pros and cons in it with everything, but you just tweak and find what works for you. Everyone's different. So yeah, you'll have to let us know, Rob, how you find monthly going. It's hard, isn't it, getting that work-life balance all the time? But yeah, going on to what I thought for today's live, which you've probably already seen anyway, is basically websites. Do they help? I've got a website. Just try and get mine up. That's the website. So this is my website here. Nothing too fancy. There's a few things I'd like to tweak and change on it. And then obviously I've got different pages and all that kind of stuff. I have had quite a few through me contact forms, which is on most of my pages. I have had quite a few people getting in touch with me through me form asking for quotes, and the majority of them are coming off my website. I do get stuff through like Facebook or a text message where someone's passed my number on. It's normally through recommendations. Even the ones on my website's coming through saying someone's recommended me, but most of the stuff is actually coming in through my website. But I wouldn't say it's absolutely tons, but I just thought, do they help and are they worth it? I'd say for me, yes. And it's one of the first things I got sorted out as well once I set my van up and everything, was a website. But the problem is with my website, when you go on these page speed insights, which is Google, and basically it gives you these scores here. So this is the home page. You can see it scored poorly on performance. All right, SEO is good. Needs working high. You want everything in the green, basically. And it gives you a lot of stuff here to read. And you can find out more. It's got stuff to go and, so you can read into it, look it up and all that kind of stuff. And then it gives you a long list here. And then when you click on them, it's giving examples and pinpointing stuff down. So it's telling you what to do to change to get this number here up into the green. When it's on the desktop, it's 72, so it's easier to tweak around and get into the green for me. Now, some of my pages are, some of them aren't. So it's been a headache, to be honest, this one, trying to get this improved score, and looking into it is quite technical for someone like me, that's for sure. So I had, over a year ago, got into WordPress, thinking I'll give that a go because I know you can get plugins that kind of do all that stuff for you. But I'm finding it really hard to understand because you start going down a road, it's leading you off. And then you're going all these different page builders or different plugins, and the money just keeps adding up. Whereas with what I've got, this website is only cost me £5.99 a month. That is it. That's my hosting. Whereas with WordPress, you're buying a plan, so it's over 200 quid for a year compared to £5.99 a month. You know what I mean? So maybe I'm going to have to try and sort this out, tweak it round a bit to improve these scores, because you get penalised for poor performances, especially like on the mobiles. But people are finding me anyway. But it is something me personally would like to get sorted. So something else I was looking at websites is, do you go down the line of building it yourself, going through Bootstrap? Bootstrap. This is Bootstrap 5. And you've got all the stuff on here telling you how to get through. It's all on there. But it's obviously, for someone like me, it's going to require a lot of homework, a lot of figuring things out. But then again, it's interesting, something else to get your teeth into. But something else you could do is buy a template. Like this one is £39. Sorry, $39. And there's a long list of other ones on there for you to get into. So there's all the templates. That's one I just picked out. And there's a price. They're all different prices. You can do your live views. And again, you can go mobile, desktop mode, and have a look through at what each individual website does. So that's one way of doing it. Or another way is like Wix, and there's other ones out there where you basically it guides you through how to build a website, which is probably going to be more straightforward. That's £25 a month on the recommended plan, for example. And I'm sure there's always going to be hidden costs to everything. Or do you do it yourself? And like I said, they've got different pricing. This is 123 Reg. I was initially with TSO Host, who have now been taken over by 123 Reg. So basically, my site at the moment is migrating over. They said it will happen in October. So it's going to happen for quite a while because there's a lot of customers. And I want to speak to someone to get the relevant information to put what's called on FileZilla, so you can upload, download your files to the internet, because there's things I want to change on my current website and sort out. But I can't. So I need to speak to a human. They're shut on the weekend. They're only open Monday to Friday. I'm working Monday to Friday. However, these guys are open till 10 at night. So tomorrow evening, I'll be give them a ring, basically, find out where I am at and if I can change any files, because I'm going through that stage of migrating. But yeah, it's certainly like, what the hell do you do, innit? What do you do? Like I said, do it myself, $5.99 a month. Just got to learn how to do it. This was a template, by the way, from a company who are no longer operating. And I brought that quite a few years ago. It cost me, I think, £60 for everything. And you get all the instructions on how to change the pictures, the content, and all that kind of stuff. So that was worth it for the hosting of $5.99 a month. Or do you go down the route, like I said, with WordPress? Build one out completely myself, but I believe Bootstrap 5 has a lot of code, so maybe it's not going to improve my speeds so much. Or like I say, do it completely from scratch. Do it myself. Page builder, or do you give WordPress another go? I'm just not really sure what to do with your websites, but you know, is it worth it? So I'll just go back to the comments because I've been waffling. So I'm trying to find out where I've got to. Sorry, Nelly's just saying he's 100% monthly. Paul's just saying to Rob, thinking about going monthly actually as well. Rob's just telling him to do it. That's a good idea, yeah. Put a quotation form on your website. I like using Squeegee app, and I'm trying to see if ways there where they go in their portal, customers can sign in there and they can have all that. But you can also, if you're on a certain plan within Squeegee app, which I've upgraded to, I think it's called the Ultimate. I was on Advanced. I'm sure the next one up's the Ultimate. And then basically you can put that sort of stuff on your website as well. So you can go into your Squeegee app and access stuff that way. But a lot of it's still in development. Sorry, yeah. What's the downside? Yeah, to websites. It's just the money, isn't it? The time, the effort, but it's something different. I was actually thinking about being web design before I thought, sod this, I'm going to become a window cleaner. So I'm kind of interested in it, and it gets to run with your business. So I thought it was important to have a presence online myself, because a lot of people nowadays use the internet for a lot of things. I know you've got your elderly customers, but some of them are absolutely all over the internet, far more than me. And so I think it's essential, really, that you have a website, and it's a place where people can find you, and on there's your contact details. They can learn more about you before they even have to speak to you, don't they? Nellie's just saying most of your work comes from website, yeah, and Google page. So it's good to have your Google business as well. It's like what John told me. If you get that optimized, so come up on the first page for Google Business page plus your website. And then if you've got things like Facebook, so you're coming up in 2 or 3 places on that first page. It's just going to help you funnel in more leads, isn't it? More time with the wife. More jobs you tend to get told to do, isn't it? That's what I've picked up from my customers. Nelly saying WordPress is fantastic. Yeah, I've had a play around. I just think I need to give it more time. I was using Spectra and Astra is what I was using. And it's just getting your head around how it all works compared to just codes and snippets of code. I suppose just give it more time. I thought if I went WordPress, you can get these plugins and all that lot. Because, like I said, with my website I brought, the company there had something I paid for that got everything in my performances all in them green areas. But because they've gone bust, that doesn't do its job anymore. I'm failing on certain pages for score, so I want them higher, basically. So it's just me. I want it done right. From my website, it's TSO host was the people I was. It's just a hosting plan. So I've got my domain name. I've paid for that. I've forgotten how much that was. It's just renewed actually. And then the hosting was £5.99 a month because my website I'd already made. So it was just uploading the files on there and that's it. So yeah, it's a damn good price, isn't it? Yes, mate, I do have a Google business page. Brilliant. Thanks, Rachel. It's all right. It's got a cup of tea. Result. Yeah, got a Google page, business page as well. I think it's essential. We should all have them as well as your website, to be honest. Matt saying I had a free one from Google Domains, but recently stopped doing them. My website is still live, but you can't make changes anymore, so you have to start again. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, do you buy a template, learn a bit of coding yourself? They come with instructions, and you can just swap things around and just put the hosting up. Or do you go WordPress, because that's very popular, isn't it? It's about 40% of all websites around the world are WordPress. And then you can get all these plugins to help optimize all the speediest site for you, that sort of thing. But there's so many things offering you different stuff, and you just got to keep an eye on the money, I suppose. It's like anything, isn't it? Do your research and don't get carried away with jumping straight in, first of all. Paul's just saying, excellent if you're not tech, but I want my contract ends soon. I want to be able to let customers book gutter clears online, which you can't do with this app. Is that Squeegee app you're with, mate? Is it? Or a different app? Or is that like your website you're on about? Nelly's saying, bloody hell, you've got 3 WordPress sites, all using Bloxy theme. They only cost £17 all for all 3. Wow, that's really good, isn't it? There's so much stuff out there to choose from. It gets confusing, doesn't it? Rob's just saying we find KSM website very good. I'll have to have a look at that. Is that the one Tradman was with? Or are they called something else? I know they've got a K in them. I think you need to try all forms of advertising. Websites attract customers from far and wide sometimes, and people are certainly online for everything. Surprising if the phone rings. Yeah, because I've stopped advertising in a local magazine, which was really good. But because I've got so much work in, I don't want to keep advertising. People ask, have I got time to fit them in? And I'm having to say no. Because then people just think, why are you advertising then? So I kind of took it out of there, and I've just got my website basically and word of mouth to help with the churn rate, so to speak. Like I said, I've had quite a few last month of inquiries just suddenly coming in. And they've all been coming in from my website mainly. And there's been a few just through me Facebook, like business page or whatever it's called, where you get your messages from. I get confused with Facebook. It's too much stuff in it. I wish I just had everything funneled into one area Because you get a message and you look around your phone thinking, was it on Nextdoor, Facebook, WhatsApp, or was it a message or an email? Yeah, start off cheaply, gauge the response, but need to know the tricks to keep the website high on pages when people search. That's very true, because you'll be spending money for nothing, really, isn't it, if you're not up there? Oh, what's the downside of going monthly? No worries, mate. Um, I wouldn't know, because I'm just 4 weekly. But I think if you're going monthly, isn't it? Some months there's more days in a month than if you're going 4 weekly. So you're going to end up with a couple of days spare somewhere where you could probably take some time off, or it could be breathing room just to catch up and work you're behind on, I suppose. And I think, like Matt was saying, if you have 2 months which are close to each other, where you got more than 4 weeks, obviously, what you can do is, if you stay on top of your work, you'll actually have a week off, which is an upside, not a downside, isn't it? And to have time with the family and that, rather than me constantly going out. But it's down to me bank balance that tells me whether I can take time off or not. That's why I end up working. That's why I hate losing time off with the weather and all that. But yeah, has anyone else got any downsides maybe to go in monthly? And if anyone else in here is doing monthly, just let the guys know, or asking, what are the plus sides really? Because I've just gone 4 weekly or 8 weekly, and I'm kind of stuck in that. Oh, you did web design for a job, right, at one point, but WordPress was a nightmare. Don't know if it's any easier now. Wow, I did. Is it CIW certificated courses? I just got the foundation one, which I was doing before I was leaving the military, and that's when I just realised you don't need qualifications to be a web designer, but you're probably going to need experience, and I haven't got that. So me to jump from the military to a job, I just thought it ain't going to happen. No matter how interested into learning code and all that I probably was, I couldn't guarantee that I was going to land a job. So that's why I started thinking, hang on a minute, be a window cleaner. And then what I did find is, when I was starting to be, I can make my own website. So I was like, best of both worlds here. Okay, WordPress with Elemental Builder. Yeah, there's 3 main ones, isn't there, I think? I went with Astra and I forgot what it's called now. Spectra? Sounds like something out of James Bond, doesn't it? Oh, Universe. All right, mate. An app called Universe. I haven't heard of that. But yeah, it can be a minefield, isn't it? You sign into these things, like I say, or do you just buy or look up how to make your own website? That's what I'm thinking of doing from scratch. So I can minimize and use only the code I need. So therefore, the speed of things loading up, because it's not oversaturated with code that I hardly use. And then it's like a static site, really, isn't it, for window cleaning? You don't need anything too dynamic, I suppose. Depends what you when you use it for, innit? Oh, wrong one. The downside's not making changes that move your business forward. Most people, the loss of income, so you take steps to mitigate that. Higher £1 increase, more time to do marketing. But the thing is, I suppose if it gets you time to do this stuff you don't normally get to do, rather than chasing your tail like I always am. But then again, when the bad weather hits and I can't go out, that's when I try and focus on using that time in something else, like trying to sort my website out, which probably take weeks, not a day, and stuff like that, isn't it? Just tweak it around. At the end of the day, you do what's happy for you, isn't it? As long as you get to pay the bills and keep working, doing the same thing. Lucky to stay and do this job for so long, really, isn't it? When there's a lot of people who've started this job because they got made redundant with what was classed as safe. Downside to monthly is you only get 12 cleans per year. If it's 4 weekly, you get 13. And that's probably not including, like Matt's saying, when you lose because of the weather. So you might not even get, if you're monthly, you might not even get 12 cleans or even 4 weekly, 13 cleans in a year, because you're going to lose at least one maybe due to the weather over a year. Plus people skip and things like that, don't they? Plus side is you get more capacity in the business to ride out the weather. Ease of automated payments being collected once per month, and it allows better organisation. Okay, without doubt, the best thing we did. So it's worked for Rob, and you ain't going to find out by doing it, ain't you, really? But I think once you've done it, you're throwing yourself in there then, innit? You've got to stick with it. Mustn't forget me cup of tea. Nelly saying no coding required in WordPress unless you want to. Yeah, I kind of see you go through the system, doesn't it? And it's just learning because you've got different builders, but they're all fairly similar, just slightly different. Just watch a lot of YouTube again on how to do it. I think what I might do is wait for my site to be fully migrated across to Reg 123 and then decide, do I rebuild my website through WordPress or do I stick with what I got? I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, food for thought. I'm always saying I could do with more time for admin tasks, leafleting, social media ads, etc. Yeah, so we're working monthly. And like I said, if in a month you probably lose on certain times of year, definitely, don't we, work anyway because of the weather. And if you're monthly, that and you've got some time where it's spare, that time's allowing you to catch up, really, isn't it? Whereas like me, you could say I'm monthly all the 4 weekly, sorry. But when I lose a day's work, I don't catch it up because I've got a full day. So it's just easier to be behind and just live with it. That's why I like to have more work than what I can handle, basically. And it's just the bills, isn't it? If something goes wrong in your van and that, you can't help that. So yeah, a lot of weird stuff can go wrong. But anyway, yeah, websites, definitely think you have to have one. It's just it can cost you a lot of money if you're not careful in creating one. And at the end of the day, you just want something like done it seen. So you're up there on the rankings, you get seen, and it's the start of a funnel, isn't it? And if someone's looking for a window cleaner, they're looking for you straight away anyway. So I think you need a website because every business tends to have one, don't they? I know people can advertise in Facebook only, but it kind of separates you out of that group. Having an online presence is what I would say. And plus it's somewhere they can find you. If they've heard about you, see your van, they're just going to look online for it. Then there's your website. I think it looks better than just Facebook only. And definitely Google business page as well, because they get searched a lot as well, can't they? But you still got to optimize all these things. Something interesting to look up on. I know I've been doing it last week, looking at seeing how I can improve my Google business page. I'm definitely going to start asking for reviews amongst my customers because all that helps you as well. And again, I suppose you can copy and paste them into your website when you're building it and all that kind of stuff, can't you? Sorry, I just seen a message come in from Matt. Send every inquiry to your website if possible. Yeah. And like I say, because you've got the form there, capture it. I know for me, it's quite good. I get pinged for an email and the stuff's there and I pass it on to my wife and then she'll send them a text message or an email, get in touch that way about organising quotes, that kind of stuff. For those that cite 13 cleans as against 12, spread that one payment across 12 months, increase all the customers by £1 as an example. Yeah, canvas a few areas so you have more time to build up your work. And then basically that little increase in it is for saying you're losing 1 clean a year per customer. It's what you're saying is you're getting that back and you've got a bit of time to catch up or take a day off to sort admin out. There's always admin, isn't there? I know for me, I spend most of my evenings sat in front of this computer doing stuff. You never really switch off. And then your phone's going because you're getting return messages and all that sort of stuff. But it can be, I mean, I was looking up at paying a web designer. There's one Tradman uses. I looked them up. They've got different packages. And I think the one I was looking at is about 450 quid. I can't remember exactly upfront payment, and then it's so much a month. And then they'd build you a website. But when I was looking into the code and that, it looks like it's all done through WordPress. But then again, if someone can build it quick for you compared to you trying to do it yourself, you've got to weigh up the pros and cons, haven't you? But I kind of like the idea of doing the website myself because I'm kind of interested in that sort of thing anyway. But it also means you can update stuff yourself or put pictures up and down. I know when you've got a person you've paid to do it, you can send them stuff, an instruction, what you like them to do, and they'll change it for you. But I think it's kind of nice to be able to do it yourself, really. Well, that's me personally anyway. But then again, there's a hell of a lot to it, isn't there? And someone who's in the know can do a better job than me. But I would say your website is definitely, it is important. I get more inquiries from my website than anywhere else. That's how the stuff comes into me. But I also get quite a lot through word of mouth and people just talking or, oh, I've got a friend down the road sort of thing. I'll give them your number and can you give them, do a quote or whatever. Get a lot of stuff that way. But the website definitely, I think, is something you need this day and age. Everyone probably has one, don't they? It'd have been nice to have made it as a web designer, wouldn't it? The materials, it's all just files online and just knowing how things are, how to code stuff, and also where to keep your eye on how the industry is regulated and when things change to keep everything up to date. Oh, sorry, I just seen another. So it's I wasn't sure if it was them. I knew it had a K in it, mate, but I was looking at them, and I was thinking, do I get in touch, do I not? Part of me wants to be able to do it myself. Yeah, part of me wants to do it myself though. Like I say, I still got the stuff for WordPress. So when my stuff migrates across, maybe I'll have another look at it. See if I can replicate what I brought as a template on there, or just do something simple myself, and then you build it up as time goes, don't you? I don't know, but I definitely would say a website is a good thing to do. But it helps if you know what you're doing. If you're going to do it yourself, but we all got to start somewhere, haven't you? You never know where it's going to lead. You never know. As I get older, I could end up as a web designer and not be out on the glass. I don't think so. I think if I keep myself fit, as long as I'm breathing, I'll be working. That'll be my retirement. I joke about that to my wife, saying this will be my retirement, just doing ones round the corner near home. Nice, easy jobs, going out, helping someone out, getting a bit of money for it, just to top up whatever pension we have got. So yeah, Rob's just saying, do it, get your website going. Saw a big increase in inquiries. That's the other thing, isn't it? Really, there's everywhere you drive, there are houses going up all over the place. So there's going to be more people needing window cleaners. I know not everyone's got a house going to want a window cleaner, but the more out there, the more people are going to want one, aren't they? And these houses are going up. And if it's a new house, you'd like to think someone would think, I want to keep this clean. And then just find it easy to pay someone like us to go and do it rather than do it themselves, because it become a chore after a while with, life and all that lot. But yeah, with new houses around here anyway, there's a lot of people with some big snag lists and it's somewhere new as well, a lot of problems. I think only do a website if it's cheap. Flyers, Google, Facebook, sign written, clothes, logos. The website brought you in the least, okay, but that's you if you, that's me, right, of course. Yeah, I mean, I brought 10,000 flyers and I reckon I've still got about 7,000 1,000 flyers in the cupboard because I was going around when I was starting on my own, and my family going around helping me. We were going around all the villages, but it's very time consuming to go and do it yourself. But I just said, if I haven't got any cleans doing, I'll be out in my van looking around and doing leaflet drops, trying to build up work. So it's obviously tap on doors. No one was in, I put a leaflet through, and that's why I did it. But then I got to the point where I was busy and I didn't have time to be able to put leaflets out, and I wasn't in a position to pay for them to go out. So I've still got them, which I'll keep, because it doesn't hurt, does it? Sometimes if you've got the time and you're cleaning someone's house, you could do a few leaflet drops to the neighbours each side to try and drum up some work in the areas you're in to get more in that way. And I did think, actually, what would have been better and cheaper, instead of getting flyers, just buy loads of business cards and put them through letterboxes. I've just thought of that. I wish maybe I'd done that, because then you've just got business cards, not business cards and leaflets. However, I did the old shebang anyway, and website. But my website gets noticed. A lot of people, when I first started, were saying they like my website. So I suppose that was some good comments to get. Whether they're saying that knowing you're putting a cheaper price, I don't know. But it did get a few comments. And it was nice when I thought, bloody hell, I just brought a package and followed the instructions on what to do and changed the word and bunged it up. But yeah, on the performance side, though it's lagging, it's getting older, I suppose, and things change, don't they? And it's too technical for me on some of this stuff it's telling me to do. So that's why I'm like, do I build my own website from scratch? Do I stick and have another go on WordPress, or do I stick with what I got and try and improve things that way? Matt's just saying the return on flyers, right, is 0.25% in a video last week. Right, yeah, I saw that one, what Chris was saying. And then his mate, though, does 200,000 because he does more of a volume. But then he was getting more, because he's putting out so much, he's getting a much more of a response. And it's worked out cost effective for him, basically. Like I said, got another van on the road. And also believed, didn't he, in that video, Matt saying he did leaflet drops every quarter, basically. So every 3 months, he's repeating it. So that's why he was getting maybe a better conversion rate. And like I say, it's just being seen, isn't it? Like your van being sign written, you drive past and everyone keeps saying, oh, it's him. It's probably seen your van about 8 times by the time they actually reach out to get in touch with you. And hopefully they're just saying, oh, I've seen his website. Who knows? But yeah, sorting out my website and a hot water system. That's on my list to get done ASAP, eh? But yeah, it's confusing. It's hard because you start a project and you never get all the way down the bottom, and then it gets half done, then you start up another one, don't you? But you kind of got to see it through, really. 20k. Yeah, but like you said, for him, it was worth it, though, wasn't it? He was getting the return in work, he's getting back off it. Was worth it and more, I think. Yeah, a lot of people, don't they, try and copy Lee because obviously he's been so successful. And then when you think he started out with a bucket, a squeegee, a mop, and his nan's car, and built himself up to where he is now. And that's also him doing targeting, profiling his customers. So he's like bracketing top minimum price. So he's picking the right work, basically, in order for him to grow. Whereas a lot of us start, and we just take on any work because A, we need it, and you're just thinking, well, I'm a window cleaner, so I have to clean windows. But then after a while, you start realising you can't do these smaller properties. They're actually costing you too much time compared to the ones where you're earning well off. You want more of them. So he spent £250,000 to get to 5 vans. But he's generated a lot of money to spend that, hasn't he? Plus the cost of 5 vans on top of all that. And I believe he just did leaflet dropping as well, didn't he? As his main form of advertising. So it's worked for him. And like I think what Chris was saying in his video, he just like did the one leaflet drop, didn't get much response, so therefore stopped it rather than like doing it maybe every quarter for a year, and maybe it's in more. Who knows? But I've definitely found for me the best thing is word of mouth. That's definitely where I am in the villages. It spreads round, and families, no families, cousins, all that kind of stuff. And if you're trustworthy, do a good job, and you're polite, you'll get loads of work that way, just through word of mouth. And people can look it up if you've got a website. But yeah, that's true. Sorry, wrong comment. Yeah, Matt's just saying each van brings in though 80k. So is that 450k a year? It's a lot more than me, isn't it? Be nice. Thing is, can you imagine the headache of staffing all them vans? You definitely got to pay the right money for someone to stay, haven't you, I suppose, rather than think they can earn that on their own. And if they're earning what they feel is good money without the stress, they're going to stick with you as well, aren't they? Yeah, it all depends on what you want to be with your business. Who wants to grow and is prepared to spend, whereas I'm just happy to pay my bills for my house and live, basically. I think I'm a bit too old to try and build something up into something massive. And I've got 4 kids. There's enough problems go on there on a day-to-day basis as well. But if we can sort of like cover the bills, live a bit, life's about living in it. You're not here forever. Yeah, all depends what we want to do. You've got to look after yourself. So just another comment come in. Hi, mate. You all right? Yeah, if you do a good job, there will always be work via word of mouth. I get suspicions when not just window cleaners, but tradespeople tell me they aren't busy. Yeah, it's like near me. There's a pub. And I used to see a lot of the work vans outside that pub and thought one day I'll be doing well enough where I can go out, finish like they are in the afternoon, and maybe have a pint or two before I go home. And I used to think there's 2 things going on here. They're either making out they're really, really busy and they're not, but they've somehow got enough money to buy a beer. You know what I mean? Or they're really that good, charging the right money, so they don't have to work all day and they can have a beer as well. Whereas me, I was constantly working and never had enough money for a beer anyway. And then I thought, my sign written van outside a pub ain't a good look anyway, is it? Even though I clean the pub. So people say, we've seen your van there. I'm like, no, honestly, I'm working. It's just laughing at me. So another comment, pressing the wrong button here. And then he said, we have 3 vans full time on the glass and I've never done a leaflet drop apart from, putting it through the neighbours or customers. Wow. So you got 3 websites and 3 vans. Is that 1 website per van, is it, mate? Yeah, they're at the pub to avoid going home. Or going home to the wife. I mean, my mate who's in the military as well, and he lived in this village for a little while as well. He just said they'd sent all the tradesmen, they're laughing at the pub. And I said, yeah, I think if you need a tradesman, just go to the pub, find someone there. Is that about they're in the pub avoiding the wife, or 1 website per van? That's what I think it is. But yeah. But I'll have to see what comes of these inquiries that have come through the website. We've had 3 last week, actually. 2 of them through the website and 1, I think it was through Facebook. And I know Teresa's getting in touch with them, and then she'll be trying to sort out a quote and seeing if we can fit them in, because we're getting really full. but I like to take stuff on. I hate saying no. And there's always, unfortunately, you lose customers here and there, don't you, with moving house or the sadly passing away and that, which has also happened a lot lately. Don't know about you, but sometimes you're going down roads, don't you, and you still think of the people you used to clean who've sadly passed away. And you can picture them in your head coming and greeting you at the door and that. It's nice to remember things like that, isn't it? But unfortunately, them sort of things are coming up more and more now. Just shows you ain't here forever. So you gotta live, ain't you, really? It's just saying Facebook isn't as good as it used to be for good leads. Yeah, I found the people on there were the ones who were not really quick at paying you and weren't for a regular clean. They're after more of a one-off. That's what I found when I was starting out. But obviously I got busier. I think they sort of drop off. I guess because people see you around and just busy. I don't know. Or if it just comes through in bouts, doesn't it? I know when I started, I used to get nothing for ages, and then all of a sudden a load of inquiries will come in one week and you get excited thinking, oh, if we keep this up, I'll be busy. By the end of the year, it'll be packed, and then it sort of dried down a bit. But now it's just nice, steady rate of stuff coming in, I suppose. So if anything drops out, I pick something up. And it's quite funny how it works. Sometimes it's the day you lose something, you gain something. But I've never done Facebook ads, Google ads, or anything like that. Never had the money to do it really, but I know people are quite into marketing though. They enjoy doing that sort of stuff, don't they? If you watch the Uncleanables podcast, talk about that on there. Right, unless anyone's got anything else to say or ask on here, I'll call it a night. I'll try and make a video, hopefully when the weather's better and the light's right to do the filming. I'll go through, fit in one of these Tough Connects. One of these, and give you my thoughts on that. And then also this as well, looks quite smart actually. Looking forward to using that as well. But yeah, I'll just see how these come up and my thoughts on that one, because I definitely go through lots of corners, twist turns, car tyres parked up. You got to do little chicanes with your O's and wheelie bins. See it holds up against them. Nellie's just said Facebook is a race to the bottom, always looking for the cheapest. Yeah, that's why I think the ones that come through word of mouth are the best, because when they've come recommended from a good customer as well, and you know that next person will be good as well. Because not only have you been recommended, in a way they're being recommended to you, aren't they? So you know the good quality customers who want you and will keep you. And then you just go for it, don't you? And it just builds up. And it's nice when it's word of mouth and they tend to be local, but you do get the odd one that they're friends, but they're quite far away. And then you kind of, because it's been recommended from someone, you kind of feel like you should say yes as well, because you're kind of doing them a favour. Not doing a favour, but you know what I mean. But you've got to do your homework, haven't you, and weigh it up. Is it worth it? And can you fit it in? But luckily, it's all worked out so far anyway. So yeah, still here. We're still going on. Got to keep going. Another week tomorrow. Starting rain in the morning, gone by 10 o'clock according to the weather, but we'll see. This weekend freezing. Didn't hang about washing my van. It was cold enough. All right, that's it for me, everyone. Thanks for joining in. And I'll start trying to build up on my website. Anyway, thanks very much.